All right, welcome back, everybody. Rolling Thunder Skyhawk testing continues by Bob Bess, Stephen Dixon, and we put up a Legion Games. Bob had asked me to roll a video on the SAM attacks, and I was starting to run this mission already, and I blew it out the ass up here a little bit by not doing the radar roll for the Sam here and then having him attack, and I got myself all confused as to where I was. So we're going to start it over and do it in an organized fashion because he's added a new step into the process and I missed it. It's not a hard step, just a step. So I've got everything filled out already. I will clear out my damage because I was taking damage. Um, and for Stephen and Bob, I like tracking superficial, just because I did not add this to the official playtesters Vasamaj, but it is in mine. So I put superficial in here just to kind of track it. I mean, it doesn't matter, but it's there. And maybe if we ever do like a peck on points or something for this, that would come in handy. But just kind of gives you a feel for the overall beating that your plane's taking, even though it's not affecting your flying. I like that B7, not B17, target for today, target for tonight. My opinion, that's carried over into this one too, but that's just me. We're poor weather, good trap weather. We're going for Thun Ho, Sam. It's an Iron Hand mission. August 1066, so we're not going to have the AGM 10Cs, so I'm not going to have the when I choose my munitions, I invariably try to go through here and get the ones that give me the best modifier because I need all the help I can get. And for SAMs, the only ones that are really good plus ones are the AGM 12Cs, which we don't have yet in the AGM 45s. So, me being me, I blowed up my 400-gallon tank always. I've never done anything but that. Just too much risk. I've already had some bad times, as you've seen, and as Brett commented, I have not sent my pilots through enough refueling training, so I need to carry that 400-galloner all the time. 445 strikes we're going to put on the outside pylons. We're going to put MER 3 each, snake eyes at 1500, and I hope to get down to low altitude and drop them in the third pass. This is going to be interesting because to do this we got to get 3 passes. Um, let's see. So we're all loaded up. We're all ready to go. We're going to launch. We launch okay. We're going to go to high altitude and roll for an inbound um, random event. We get a 1. No event, barely by the skin of our teeth. Turn for refueling, my favorite place. We roll a 2, barely. Oh, successful refueling. We're right on the edge this time, guys. This could be an ugly mission. Um, so we successfully refuel. We're going to go into the supports. So we're going to put a support out, and I keep talking about this just because I keep seeing AARs come in where guys are still doing the fuel check and the support attacks. This fuel check is only made if you don't successfully refuel, and this is my sticky point, and I'm sure Bob and Steve have probably heard enough of it. There is no unsuccessful refuel attempt that does not send you to the transit to carrier. So that fuel check box probably shouldn't even be there unless there's something that's worded wrong here. So for that, we just ignore that fuel check. It's not made. We will roll for the radar one, and we will assign our support. Now, we're very limited in support this time, so I will not put my ECMs out. I don't like doing that, but I will put them all attacking sites. And I rolled for 3 support units, so I always have an A6 intruder along, one of my favorite badass planes of all time. I'd actually love to see one of these games with an A6 intruder. Um, Not so much for the ECM purposes, but for they could carry some good payload. Um, anyway, that's my setup for them. Over the target, we're going to see if the SAM comes on. This is for this SAM, not the target SAM. 8, it's going to stay on. We roll for the target SAM before we do the target approach, and that's where I went wrong last time. And every pass you make, so when we finish our support attack box, we roll for the SAM on off for this. For every time we come around to reattack, when we hit this box, we're going to roll for that SAM on off again. And there's a chart for that on chart 13. It's the same exact chart that's in the rules. I'd like to see, like I said, I think I mentioned in my other video that I canned because I messed up. I'd like to see all charts or anything you got to roll for in some version of a chart. I hate going back to the rule book and looking for charts. It's just hard. It kind of messes up the flow of the game. So when I do Vassal, I add them in here. Um, so let's see. Enough talking, enough BSing. Radars on. We've got our support units out. U.S. support attacking them. Nobody on the small arms. We got one on the AAA. -1 for poor weather. 7-6. We suppress him. Good. I hated giving up my first run at this, but I messed myself up so bad here because we knocked out some support right away, and I was able to use my support planes to better. So by the time we got here, I think I only had the MiGs left. All right, so speaking of SAMs, the intruder against the SAMs, -1, 8-7. Wow, whose dice are these? Definitely not mine. We suppress them. Against the MiGs, -1 for the weather, 4-3. That's more like it. We missed the MiGs. So support attacks against our support aircraft, AAA, -1 for weather, -1 for support. We have no ECM. And I think I mentioned several times, I don't think G and H really belong on this chart. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm reading that wrong. Maybe because they can fire on the Skyhawk, they belong here. But they're not really firing on the Skyhawk as of yet. So I have not been using them. If I'm wrong, then I'll start using them. But so far, I don't think they apply here. I think they're kind of an add-on from this chart, and I don't think they should be. Yeah, the way they're worded um, with that when firing on. I can see, okay, add 1 to the die roll modifier. If the Skyhawk pilot is green, you're not really firing on it, but it's kind of saying that because they see the green pilot coming in, kind of not flying zigzag or whatever, and they can get through the support. And I mean, it's easier to hit the support. I don't know. I just don't see it, so I haven't been playing it. Anyway, AAA firing on my Phantom, -1, -2, 9-7. Yes, there goes my Phantom. Well, this is definitely gone south in a hurry. Sam -2 on my intruder. Damn! There goes my intruder. And the MiGs on -1. 0. They miss. So yeah, we're in bad shape. Defensive fire on the Skyhawk. Only these two. -2. +1 for being green. So we're -1. AAA at high altitude. 5-4 is a miss. SAM at high altitude, -1, 1. 0 is a miss. Now, we go to 13. Before we go into the target approach area, we roll right here on this radar determination on off, which is the exact same chart that's in the rule book. And I think I'd rather see something like this set up than the rule book roll for that, but just my opinion. 8, it's going to stay on. So we'll bring the other counter up here and put that on. Now we remove our support, put them back in here. The suppress stays on. We move into the target approach. We assign our support. We got to protect against the MiGs. Roll for that, this SAM being on and off. That's an 8. That'll stay on. Support attacks against, the only one we have is the MiG. That's a -1 for weather. 9-8, very nice. That works. Disengaged. We were actually supposed to put the MiG up here and have him follow us, but now he's disengaged. We don't need to. Disengaged, so he will not fire. NV defenses against the Skyhawk, AAA at high altitude, -1, -2. 6-5-4, miss. And the SAM, -2, no, -1. That was 6-5. Yes, we get 1 hit. Getting too fast myself here. Defensive fire, 5, tail. And make sure when you're doing these that you don't just roll straight on that chart. You got to knock one of these off until they're all empty. Then we roll on that chart. Table 12-7. Roll for tail damage. 5. Superficial. And we do have that now. So you won't see that on the playtest module. I'm not including that because that's just my personal flavor. If Steven and Bob decide later that they would like it, then it will be added. I just like tracking it. Maybe I ain't all about that. Alright, that was the AAA. Now, scary one, SAMs. -1 for weather, -1 for suppressed, +1 because we're green, that's -1. And SAMs are 1, that's going to be 0. Oh, AAA should have been 2, but that's still 1 hit, so I missed that one. So it still would have only been 1 hit, so we're alright. SAMs, 0. SAMs with radars on and MiGs firing on a Skyhawk in the target attack box. Yeah, we're not there, so that +1 doesn't apply. So it's still, it is -1. Alright. 0. Miss. Good. Gives us a chance. This SAM does get to attack. He attacks in all 3 of these zones. So he is radar on, and we are at high altitude. And the modifiers here are -1 for poor weather. He is not suppressed. And we do have 2 of those. It's in these the NV defense boxes. So that's -3 at this point. -3, -2 because we're green, -2, 9, 8, 7. Damn, 2 hits. Yeah, they're hitting us. All right, first hit. 5. Tail. That's second shot. Tail's almost out. Um, I got to double check that. I think we go down if we lose a complete section, one of the major sections. Let me pause this real quick while I check it. You don't need to hear this in the background while I'm fumbling through rules. I'll be right back. Yeah, that's what I thought. If I lose that last tail box, we're shot down. So now we're starting to get worried. All right, we rolled for tail. Now we roll on 12-7. Not that one. 12-7. We rolled 4. That's a superficial. That was 9-8. 7. That was 2 hits. I lost track of it in my rules checking. No. We were against a special one. Still was 2 hits. 9. He had -1, -2, -3. +1 is -2. He rolled a 9. That was 7. Yes, 2 hits. Second hit. A lot of distractions. Fuselage. Damn. Okay. At least we're spreading it out a little bit now. 12-4. 6. Superficial. Yeah, I'd like to start seeing some of them superficials on the first roll, please. That's target approach. That is everything. Radar's on. He stays on for the duration, is my understanding. The only time we roll for that is when we approach the target approach. Before we enter the target approach, it'll stay on for that whole round now. My support units, in this case, plural, singular. Go back there. Radars are on. We move forward. I'm going to come in from high to fire my 45s. And this is going to cost me because I'm pretty sure that's another modifier that we're not going to like. That can, no, that's just the bullpups because they got to sit there and guide them on in. So we're going to be dropping 45s, so we're not going to have a problem with that. Yes. Okay. Let's do this then. He stays on, but we got to get through to this first. Radar on off for our SAMs. 3. That will be radar off. And I forgot to put him out, and I wanted him on. Good Lord, it doesn't matter. SAMs. They're supposed to go first. I don't have any ECM, so it's not going to matter. I do want him against the SAM, so now the MiGs are gone. Try and knock these 2 out before we get into the third round where we got to go in low. We don't necessarily have to go in low, so that's if we ever even get there. US support, firing on them against the SAMs. -1 for weather. 3, misses. Support attack against our support. That'll be the SAM only. -1 for weather, -1 for support is -2. Jeez. Okay, that's good. He's firing on us. That's a miss. Hold on a minute. All right. Distractions. The SAM's firing on that missed. Okay. Now we got to go for the SAMs. Let's see. The AAA firing on us. -1 for weather, -1 for suppressed, +1 for green is 0, -1. We have not lost all our boxes in the nose. We have not lost our avionics. We are not firing AGM 12s. So we got a -1 right now for the AAA at high altitude. 6.5. That'll be a hit. 0. Be a cockpit. And we roll on 12.3 for that one. 0 again. Avionics. Ouch. We do not want to lose the avionics. All right. This SAM already fired. MiGs are no longer. Now we got this SAM to contend with. We are at high altitude with him on. -1 for poor weather. We have 2 suppressed. That's -3. +1 is a -2. 6.54. Barely misses, but we'll take it. Now, this is target. So we're at high altitude. We're going to start doing our strikes. So first off, we're going to go to find the AGM 45, which is 15.2. I'm going to double check this. I added this in here. Like I said, I hate charts in the rule books, so I put it in where I could find it easy. AGM 45s, each in a single pass. We're going to do them first because we're going to be doing them at a high altitude. And that radar is on. So, okay, we don't have anybody in the ECM. We're -1, -2. No positive modifiers. First strike fired. That's -2. 543. We are off target. Of course, would not have that any other way. We will go to percentage points. We get no modifiers on this. We're off target. 4, 0. So nothing to show for that one. That completes that target run. Radar on. He goes over here to support units. These stay the same. That radar stays on until we go up here. We go to target exit. Assign our guys. Again, we're going to go after the SAM. We got to roll for that radar. SAM on off. 0 is going to be off again. This one stays on. Okay, fire attacks against. We just have him against the SAMs. -1 for the weather. We don't have any ECM support, so 4-3 is a miss. Come on, guys. He's scared shitless because he saw his wingman and support go down. Now, support attacks on our support. -1 for weather. -1 for suppressed. Let me get rid of that. That's -2. And radar controls off is -5. That's a miss. Now, against us, we're at high altitude. Small arms can't get us. AAA, -1, -2. +1 is -1. 5-4 is a miss. Nobody else can fire. Now we go on to the SAM. We're at high altitude. There are 2 suppressed in poor weather. The only thing I don't like about that is if you knock all this stuff out, it's no longer a negative modifier. So I'd almost like to see it say -1 for each suppressed or knocked out marker, because for the same purpose, because it kind of really doesn't behoove us to get rid of those suppressed then, other than the fact that they're not firing at us anymore. Anyway, that's just me. -1, -2, -3, -2, 6, 5, 4, miss, barely, but a miss. We'll take that. So that concludes our target exit. Now we plan on coming around. Oh, not that. We plan on coming around for another. So we're going to move here. These are going here. Radar goes back on. We're going to roll for a random attack, re-attack random event first. 5. Small arms have fired at your aircraft at low altitude. If not at low altitude, ignore result. That's why I'm staying at high. We will do a fuel check. Let's go ahead and use our 400 up. We will not have to do a fuel check. And that part's done. Now we will re-roll for the SAM for our target. This pass 8, it'll stay on again. Nobody fires at us. Now we come into the target. Oops, there we go again. Target approach. Actually, I want to just dive back to high. I know it doesn't make sense, but it makes it easier. Target approach, we're going to put, let's go after their SAMs again. Roll for their SAMs being on off. 5, they're going to stay on this time. Good thing we're going after them. Support fires against them, -1 for weather. 8, 7, good deal. Suppressed them, that's 2 suppressed. Which will go into a knocked out after he fires. Nobody else can fire at our support, so our support fires at our support. So SAMs, -1 for weather, -2, 3 for being suppressed. That's 9, 6. Damn. And in return, he takes out our only hope. So we can return one of these to deck and flip the next one. So we're only going to have to worry about this shit now. We can't do anything about it. So, firing at the Skyhawk. That's the AAA only because we're still at high. He's -1, -2, +1 for green, -1, 6, 5. That's a hit. 7. Superficial damage. I'll take that. Small arms can't attack us. Now we go to the SAM, who can attack us. We're at high altitude with the radar on. 6, -1 for poor weather goes to 5, 4 for suppressed. There's only 1 now, which is what I talked about. It doesn't behoove us to knock that out. So we go down to a 5. And now we go back up to a 6. So that's another hit. We roll a 5. Tail. Well, down we go. So, and we'll roll a secondary tail is hydraulic system, which at this point is not going to matter because we're going to lose everything when we hit the ground. So at this point, we make sure I've never actually been shot down. I went down with catastrophic collision and explosion at refueling, but I never had to go down and bail out. So I think that is under bailout table is all we've got to do. Hold on a second. No, it's probably good that we went through this because I've never done this before, so at least we get to go through it on video, so hopefully others can learn how to do it if they haven't done it. Um, Pardon the interruption. Like any good Skyhawk pilot, before I bail out, I eat. So, let's see. We're going to bail out. We bail out over land because we're not doing a mine laying mission. Our cockpit's not destroyed. We are green, -1. We're not wounded, so we're going to have -1. We roll a 2, goes to 1. Possible chute malfunction. This is my luck. 1 to 9 successful. 1 successfully bail out. We put ourselves in the. Ooh, actually, I can't move that, so I gotta make a piece that'll allow me to put a piece down here. And being as I can't move my pilot one, I didn't allow it to be moved. Or maybe I just allow that one to be moved. We're supposed to be in a search and rescue bailout or over land. So we successfully bail out. We go to search and rescue table over land. We roll D10, -1 for being green again. 7, 6, pilot rescued. So we are rescued, get to go home. I don't even bother with this. I really don't like this chart. I mean, those of you that served know that the Medal of Honor is so hard to get. You really got to do something ballsy for that one. I would hate to get a Medal of Honor on a mission like I just had, where, yeah, we put up with some hell, but we missed the target. We got our plane shot down. No, not happening. So I will not roll on that one. These happen on the campaign game. Same with this. So that would be the end of the mission. We landed technically, and we didn't have a bad mission. We only did manage to fire off one of our munitions, but just things started going south from the beginning. Which those of you were in the military, you know that's what can happen oftentimes. You don't get good support. Next thing you know, your support gets knocked out or taken away, and you go to attack, and things don't go as planned. Actually, I plan on bad rolls because I get them a lot, so I'm not surprised when I don't have a good time of it. Anyway, it was a good mission to showcase some on the SAM attacks, and I think I'm going to roll another mission of these, as time permits, just to make sure that we know how to do this properly. I did like that setup for it. I think it would be a good attack combination. I hate going 3 passes, especially against SAMs. So I may consider a different armament, maybe come in with all snake eyes and hope that we get it all in one pass or something. Things you learn as you get shot down. Fortunately, we were able to do that, but in real life they weren't. So you had to learn early. Me being a ground pounder, combat engineers, yeah, I didn't have to think about shit like that. I just had to dodge rounds. These guys, you get shot down, you learn real quick, and they didn't have control over what they carried under the wings. That was usually part of the planning for them. So at least we have a choice in what we're carrying and how many passes we're going to make. A lot of times they didn't have that choice. So anyway, enough of that. We'll see you on the next one, and I will do another SAM attack. I'll fudge the roll and do another Iron Hand just to make sure that we test that thoroughly and make sure that everything's good there and that I'm doing it right. Thanks for joining me. You all have a great night, day, and we'll see you next time.